Welcome back, Friendly Ghost. This past few days have been almost a Christmas miracle for Legend of Dragoon fans. Just though a comet were passing through the Earth's atmosphere. It's been quite an oddity, but the buzz that has been making its rounds seems to be dying down. And by buzz, I mean word of mouth from the people that actually can make this happen. You know, lips are sealed. There's no further mentioning of this. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any mentioning of it at all. But the buzz making its rounds to the people across the world, they're slowly catching on. They're slowly gaining an eye and leaning an eye to it. You know, peering around that corner saying, hey, Legend of Dragoon is trending on Twitter for some reason. You know, and it's not trending around the world, but if you type in Legend, you know, the game is the first thing that pops up, and that almost never happens. Little to brag about, but it's a lot to brag about at the same time. And yeah, so as I'm becoming quite afraid actually about this over the past few days, I've done more research and I've begun to recollect over last year or half a year ago, there was rumored to be some secret project in the works for a complete reimagination, or not reimagination, but a complete reimaging and needs to a facelift of sorts. And they were hiring for art designers of weaponry and armor, medieval type of equipment and stuff. And I don't know if art designer is the exact term to use for it, but just, you know, that's kind of the gist of what they were doing. And people at the time were making assumptions that it was Demon Souls, absolutely Demon Souls. And it was supposed to be this old school RPG that they were bringing to the forefront. And yeah, people were assuming there was Demon Souls. And they also, right behind the ear, there was that whisper that maybe it's Legend of Dragoon. And then there were other names, weird names that maybe it's just something completely out of the blue that we don't even know about. Fast forward to now, and many people still believe it's Demon Souls. But there have been whispers that it's absolutely Legend of Dragoon. Now, these whispers confirm nothing, absolutely nothing. These whispers are just whispers, but there are whispers that it's Legend of Dragoon, and I'm not giving any credit to that, but just putting it into perspective that it is a contender here, you know. And wouldn't it be crazy that if this secret project that they're working on is a complete remake of the Legend of Dragoon, and they've been working on it this entire time? I'm gonna toss something out there. Doesn't it seem a bit peculiar to you that Legend of Dragoon has been tossed around a lot lately? Like, in this past week specifically, it seems like there have been a lot of mentionings of this game, and a decent amount of it have come from Sony executives, or, you know, people who work or have some sort of attachment to Sony. And it seems like it has all been collaborated to be within this certain time frame to create a bit of a buzz, although this buzz is seemingly just a huff in the wind, seemingly just passing through. But it seems like this has been orchestrated a bit. Now, this is just throwing stuff out there. Nothing is confirmed whatsoever. I still don't believe myself that anything is in the works. I refuse to give myself that disappointment. And if there's anything happening whatsoever, I don't know what I'll do, but I will do it. I'll, whatever. So, yeah, as it'll be interesting. Let me bring up another point, is that The Legend of Dragoon is turning 20 years old in a few months. I believe around December. I'm not exactly sure which month, but it may be December. And I believe there's going to be a Sony conference, and because they didn't show up at E3 or whatever that big event was that they reveal games, Sony exclusive, I think that's what it's called. And I believe this Sony exclusive was not held at E3, but it's going to be held either a day after or a few days after the 20-year anniversary of The Legend of Dragoon. And I want you to just think about that. And just think about that this secret project has been in the works well before E3 came about. Or it may have been around the same time as E3, but I believe it's well before E3. And Sony made the conscious decision to not show up at E3. And I'm not I'm not trying to get anybody hyped. I'm just saying that once we were in the frame of mind that there's no way possible that this is ever going to happen, we have to now put ourselves in this and buckle in our seatbelts at the possibility that this has a fair chance of being a reality. This has a fair chance. What was once a certainty of being Demon Souls has now become a juggle of two contenders, The Legend of Dragoon and Demon Souls. Demon Souls and The Legend of Dragoon. Now, it may not be either of these. I am not an expert of these type of analysis of detective work, so don't quote me on any of this. I'm just reading what I hear about. I'm just doing my own detective work, and I'm an amateur. But this seems to be the general consensus of what's going on here, is that there's only two possibilities here. And Demon Souls doesn't need a re-imaging as much as The Legend of Dragoon does. Wouldn't it be completely nuts if this whole time they have been working on a complete remake of the game that we all thought was no way a possibility of even getting a remaster? Now, a remaster is nothing to scoff at. I still want a remaster just as much as a remake, if not more, because I don't want the gameplay to change. And of course, neither of these are going to happen. The game is not going to get anything. This is all just speculation, This is not going to happen. I don't believe, and neither should you, okay? But I've been looking into remasters over the past few days and seeing FF8. The things that they can do with a remaster is quite impressive. If you look at the comparisons between FF8 original versus the remaster that they're doing, it's not just in taking this game and put it to HD. They took the character models and completely reworked them. They completely remodeled them. Maybe not remodeled, but they completely gave them a makeover. Like, the hairstyles have changed, the characters' faces have changed, the outfits have changed. Of course, it's much smoother looking and it's in HD, but they essentially took a PS1 game and made it into a Dreamcast game or a PS2 era game which is exactly where the Legend of Dragoon needs to be. That's exactly what Legend of Dragoon should have been since it came out in that time frame. That's exactly what Legend of Dragoon should be. So for me personally, if Legend of Dragoon were to get that treatment, that would be the best possible thing that could happen. Just if you ask me, in my opinion. Because that's the kind of error that the Legend of Dragoon has about it. So yeah, the buzz is slowly making its rounds around the world. Slowly and slowly, it's creeping. More and more people are peering an eye at it. And though the voices are being silent, we're in the twilight zone here. And there's nothing whatsoever to be hyped about or to look forward to. There's no evidence of anything outside of speculation. But there is somewhere in the astrophysics, in the barn of barnacles where there is no return, there is a haystack, and inside that haystack are dozens of needles waiting to tear your skin off. But there is one straw of hope for each and every one of us. I'm not saying that anything is going to happen, but I am saying that we are in for a lot of trauma, a lot of disappointment, and a lot of hype, and a lot more disappointment, and a lot more heartache, and a lot more hype, and a lot more disappointment. So it's going to be fun these past few months, these past upcoming months. And I hope you guys are being as terrorized as I am, and as frightened as I am, now that this possibility has come to light, that is an actual possibility. I hope you guys are just as terrorized as I am, just as horrified, and just as haunted. You have the same amount of anxiety, and you know, so I hope we're in this together. You know, enjoy every amount of disappointment that comes with this, and every amount of enjoyment and hype, and possibly dreams coming true. You know, it'll be fun. So that pretty much covers it. What was once thought to be no way possible, angry at people for ignoring the game, we have to now kind of shift that perspective to they have been potentially working on this huge remake for the past year, and everybody's been silent, and that it's a very decent possibility that it's around the corner. But don't hope at all. Don't believe. Don't accuse me of making you believe I'm innocent. And, you know, continue to show love to the people who can make things happen. Just continue to show your appreciation to the people who, you know, who gave you hope. And, you know, give that dog a girlfriend, man. Do what you gotta do. And I'm about to sign off. This is ITOwl. Peace and love. Always keep your head up. Deuces, adios, dos, bos, and stay cool.